Hey there. Welcome back. We've gone down a rabbit hole. Rebecca, what the fuck? I have heard so many things about these books, and I've actually had them for a while and just read them recently this year, right before Onyx Storm was released is when I read these. So I lucked out, I guess, more than others have because of the long wait for the book. I know right now, and I knew when I read the books, that if I had read these when they were released, I would not be okay. Rebecca would have received several letters from me. Several. So I have an announcement. We have to make room for Daddy Zayden. Relax, that's his name in the book. Daddy Zayden. He's not my book boyfriend. We're engaged. He's my fiance. So sorry to all my other boyfriends. Sorry to my actual living husband. But Daddy Zayden, yeah, he put a ring on it. So anyways, this book was so good. It was so good. The gasps, the plot, the love story, the drama, I will be reading it again. It's honestly probably one of the best, no, okay, it's not probably. It is one of the best books that I have ever read. This series so far that Rebecca has given us, thankfully, thank you, has been one of the best series that I've ever read. It's probably in my top 2. So they battle it out back and forth on who's going to be the best. And I'm going to say only because this is a set of 3 and the other series that I like is a lot of a bigger series with more of a story, that this is number 2. But it is so good. I cried so much. I gasped so much. I was so loud reading this. I finished it in less than 24 hours. And immediately picked up this bad boy. Now, I love you, Rebecca. I really do. What the fuck, Rebecca? Rebecca. It's like that Klaus clip of him screaming, Rebecca, Rebecca!
Rebecca! Rebecca! You cannot hide from me, Rebecca!
Rebecca, why? Why would you leave us on this cliffhanger? Why did you, thankfully I got left out, but why did you leave everybody on this cliffhanger and then wait so long to release Onyx Storm? Because you would have received a letter from me. You are lucky. Everybody is lucky. My husband is lucky that I read these so late. I read this the day before the release of Onyx Storm. The day before. And Ryan, my husband, he thanked his lucky stars that I read it the night before. Because if I had read it any sooner, he wouldn't have made it. He would not have made it. But thankfully I waited. So this still wasn't okay. I still needed therapy. My husband has become a therapist ever since I've gotten into reading books, because he has to listen to everything that comes out of my mouth regarding all of these and hold me while I cry when my favorite characters pass away. This was a very good book. Zayden and I are still happily together so far and will continue to be. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm okay, but I'm not okay. Not okay. Why?
Why? Why?
You're telling me that they get engaged. I'm sorry, they don't get engaged. She doesn't remember it. So maybe they got engaged. Then they get married. Okay. And she wakes up and he's gone. And she doesn't get to remember any of it. Are you good? Why? Why? If I were Violet, I would be burning cities down. You don't understand. For Daddy Zayden, for my now husband, I don't get to talk to him. I don't remember marrying him. I don't get to I lose my memories. I don't care if it was my choice, okay? If it were my choice, I would want to remember that. I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure that nobody could tap into that, because that is my sacred space. But the fact that I don't get to remember where my husband went or how we got married, the most sacred moment, my last moment with him, what? And Violet was amazing in this book. She was incredible. That clip where she's with Zayden's family and she's like, try me, because Garrick ate the cake. Poor Garrick, he can't have his cake and eat it too, or else he'll die. Help. Like, what the hell? I like cake too, bro. I would, could not be me. She was incredible in that scene. I was kicking my feet and screaming, like loving it so much. It's been a very long time since I have enjoyed a series as much as I have enjoyed this one, so kudos to you, Rebecca. But also I don't want to have to go to therapy. Okay, so please don't take my characters away from me. I need Riddick, I need Violet, I need Zayden, and Darna. I thought we got dumped. Like, when Darna left, I was like, cool, okay. We're gonna put this down for a second. I need to think about what just happened. Is she coming back? How long is it going to take for her to come back? We needed to pause there, because I love Andarna and I love Taryn, and don't try it, Rebecca, but losing Andarna for her to leave and go be with her same kind, I mean, like, I know she needs that and I understand, but I am a toxic person, so I would be following her. Honestly, her leaving me is worse than her dying, but don't try it. Don't kill her. I couldn't do it without her. You would receive another letter. I'm sorry about all the letter threatening, but that's what would happen, because I physically would not be okay. Emotionally, gone. Mentally, there's nothing without this. Like, I have no life. Yes, I'm happily married and I do have a job and a dog, but I wouldn't be okay. I need them in my life. All of them. And back to my fiance, Zayden. Yes, he's my fiance. Yes, I have other book boyfriends. We have another one. There's a recruiter. We also have Riddick, because in this book, his humor killed me. I would like to see more of him. You know what? Even if you did like a spin-off, Rebecca, I would read a book about just Riddick. Just anything that goes on in his head. Love him to death so much. Zayden's great. He really is. He's amazing. I would love to read a book about just Riddick. I really would. Everything that goes on in his head, and everything he says out loud. Like, I was cracking up laughing so hard. Because humor gets you, girls. You think it's looks? He could be hideous, but he's got a smart mouth on him or some jokes. Put a ring on it. Thankfully, I got the best of both worlds. All the worlds. These are my notes, just so that everybody knows what was fresh on my mind when I read these. So for Fourth Wing, quoting myself, hands down one of the best books I have ever laid my eyes on. The gasps, the love story, the plot. I will be reading this again for sure. And my favorite characters were Daddy Zayden and Taryn. And I do love Taryn. I love him so much. His sarcasm. I picture him, I don't know how everybody else pictures Taryn, but when I picture Taryn, I know he's a dragon, but I literally picture the old man from Up. Like that is Taryn to me. And I love him. So it just makes sense in my head. Like, I know he's a dragon, but I literally picture the old man from Up. I don't remember his name. It's been a really long time since I've watched that, but yeah. And I guess Riddick, no. Sometimes he's like the Boy Scout little boy in there, and then also the mixture of the dog with just the random things that comes out of his mouth. I love it so much. But yeah, that's who I picture when I picture Taryn. So for Iron Flame, I literally wrote WTF. This author is lucky. Rebecca, you're lucky. I read this the day before release of Onyx Storm. The cliffhanger, the emotional damage. Oh yeah, the emotional damage. Literally, back to that. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
You put me through a lot when I read this book. Definitely had emotional damage. Love her though, and I do. I love her. I hope she keeps writing about all of my favorite characters and a spin-off series. Like, please, if you can. I understand if you don't, but I would really appreciate it. I've gone into such a reading slump since finishing this series. I have not managed to pick up a book and enjoy it the way that I enjoyed this series. Like, I can't even pay attention to it, to be honest with you. I'm like, that's great, but when do the dragons come in? When do we go to war? When do we find Zayden? And who's his new brother that has now turned? I've been reading like all of the potential scenarios and guesses that everybody has been having, but Rebecca's her own person, so she's gonna create the story herself, and I would like to hear it from her on what's going on. I don't even know if I have my own assumptions on who it could be. She puts a whole bunch of Easter eggs in there, but unlucky for me, I am really bad at picking those hints up, so I couldn't tell you who it was. I'm just gonna read it like I don't understand and I have no idea, because I truly don't, and whatever happens happens. And if I need therapy after this, then I'll need therapy. So back to, got sidetracked. Back to what my notes were for Onyx Storm after I finished it. I said, what is happening? They're married. He's gone. She doesn't remember. How could you? And Riddick with hearts. I love him and Daddy Zayden. And I really do. I love them both so much. Zayden more. But Riddick's getting up there. And I would still read just his own story about everything he has to say. Oh, I have a favorite part, which I talked about. Violet kicks ass against Zayden's mom and her new family when Riddick talks about how much he hates sewing. When he got stabbed and we all thought that he was gonna die, I literally was like, no, Rebecca wouldn't do this to me. She just, not this close to the last book. She wouldn't, we couldn't. So it's not happening. I was gonna rewrite it if that's what happened. So thankfully, I didn't have to become an author. And Garrett with the cake, LOL, but not. Poor Garrett. So I'll be reading these again. Definitely top 2. And when there are more books and more story for me to read, it will probably be my number 1. Favorite characters in these books: Riddick, Zayden, and Violet. But Riddick, yeah, yes. Also, I got this at Barnes & Noble. I have 2 of these now because of how many books that I have. Read these. Read Rebecca's, Yaros's stories. And then talk to me about it, because My husband doesn't read these. He doesn't like romance, which is weird because I'm a romance girly and he's in love with me and obsessed with me. So we're gonna get him, you know what? We're going to get him to read these and then we can listen to his reactions on these books and go from there. That's what we're gonna do. That way I can enjoy these again. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you didn't watch the first one, we have several book boyfriends. We have, I don't remember actually. All I can think about is Zayden and Riddick. So the other ones have some work to do. Yeah. I'm going to try to pick up a book and try to find another book boyfriend to add to the collection. Later.